Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the creative process behind my entry for the Music Cosmos Composer Competition 2021, which happened to be winning entry. There's a link to the entry itself in the description section where you can check out all the elements I'll be referencing throughout this video. So without further ado, let's get to it. The first step was establishing what the video was about. For those who haven't watched it, it is about how the indigenous people from the Amazon find the forests constantly threatened by big corporations, loggers, and so on, and how they are trying to protect it. The video also throws a question of who should decide the future of the Amazon and asks the audience to join them in their fight. The first thing I did was to divide the video into two separate sections for two main reasons. One of them was because there's a clear division in what's said in the script between the first and second half. The first one reiterates the question of who should decide the future of the Amazon in different ways, whereas the second one focuses on the struggle and fight itself. The second reason is because the video is too long for a single sort of unchanging musical section or idea to hold up. The attention would drop at some point. Once you've got different sections, you need to decide what to do with them, and I always try to build a concept around them for this. I find that useful because it helps you build a creative frame in which you operate, and it also limits your options. And I find that the less options you've got, the more powerful and significant they become. My conceptual approach consisted of establishing a sort of dialogue where the Amazon would be crying for help and the world would answer to that call. Now, I want to point out that whether or not the conceptual approach is understood is irrelevant. Its true power lies in helping you build a more cohesive and coherent soundtrack. In order to do so, I wanted to create an Amazonian sounding landscape to represent the aforementioned cry and Western sounding one to represent the rest of the world answering that call. The first one would develop primarily throughout the first half, setting the tone for the whole video. The clip starts off kind of dark and mysterious, asking who should decide the future of the Amazon, so the music should back up that uncertainty as well. During the second half, both landscapes would coexist in a sort of epic fashion, representing the drive and willingness of both worlds to put up a fight. The next step would be to choose which instruments are going to make up both musical landscapes. For the first one, I picked several traditional instruments, mainly flutes from South America, a Peruvian voice, and tiny percussion elements. You can see here which libraries I used. I also used the synth part I created myself on Vital and some patches from Spitfire Tundra that added that mysterious touch. For the Western sounding landscape, I picked a full romantic orchestra with a mixed choir. I started the arrangement with this chord stencil, and then all the melodies, counter melodies, arrangement, and so on were built upon it. It looks pretty messy and complicated, but it's really not. This is how the mixing automation looks. And as far as the master is concerned, first of all, I automated the music master volume. Then I applied a tiny bit of compression to the music, added some EQ where I carved out a couple of notches so the voiceover could sit better, widened the stereo image a bit, some limiting, and finally some sidechain compression to push back the music a bit when the voice was speaking. As for the voiceover itself, I applied some multiband compression to the frequency ranges where the voice has got its body on tone, then some basic grade to get some headroom and also some de-essing. A bit more of limiting on the stereo output, and that would be it. I hope you found that helpful in any way, and if you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. That's all for today. Thanks for listening, and cheers.